Hi, I'm Jeff Ludy, the window and door expert. Thanks for watching this video. Today I'm going to review the Vytex Potomac HP high performance vinyl window. Now, just before we get started, I want to let you know that this is a non-paid review. No one pays me to review their products. This is an independent, my opinion, review of this product. In fact, I don't even sell this brand because they don't even come into the market down here in Houston where we're located. But I get calls from window companies all over the country saying, Jeff, we'd like for you to take a look at our product. We'd like for you to review it. If you're a window company, you want me to review your product, let me know, send it to me. We don't charge for this because we want to be independent and unbiased when we review window products. So this is the Potomac HP, which stands for high performance. It is made out of vinyl. It's a great product. I think you're going to really enjoy what I have to say about it. And if you've considered new vinyl windows for your house, I think this is something you should consider. Now, first of all, let's talk about Vytex. Vytex is a company that was founded in 1988. A gentleman named Andy and his wife Magda Weinrub started this company. And actually, it's a family-owned company. They don't have investors. It's not one of those corporate deals. They actually still are a family. In fact, their two children are involved with running the day-to-day operations of the company along with them. So when you're dealing with a family-owned business like this, or a family-owned business like mine, right? It's a different level sometimes of personalization, and then you find that people really do care about their product in your home, and they really care about what you think and your overall satisfaction. So I think that's a really big plus when you're dealing with a company like Vytex. Now, they make three product lines, okay? If you imagine General Motors, like they make the Cadillac, right? General Motors also makes the GMC, and then they make the Chevrolet. Well, these guys have three different tiers. They're all great quality products. Everything that they make is actually above the middle fold when it comes to quality of windows to begin with. But this is their top of the line. So I want to show you all the bells and whistles. Some of these bells and whistles you get on this product can also be added to some of the other products. But with this stuff comes standard. And I think that's what's really pretty cool about it. I think that's what you're going to like. Number one thing you should know is that the vinyl on this is a very thick gauge vinyl. Kind of hard for you to see, but I can feel right here, just even on this edge right here where the screen track is, that this is really thick, heavy, extruded vinyl. And that's not common. A lot of window companies save money by putting less vinyl in their product because the less vinyl there is, the less materials they use. Less materials they use, the less it's going to cost in order to make the window. But this is a thick walled vinyl, and not just that, it's actually foam filled. It's like a hot foam injection as the cavities that you see inside the window, and I got a little screenshot for you here, you can see this. As you see this cavity here, it gets injected with a product that's a foam that expands once it gets in there. So it's not just a sleeve slid in there, like some companies slide a sleeve of foam in there. This actually is wall to wall, fills up that cavity, seals it into place, which is great because it also reduces the possibility of condensation building up inside of there, which down the road, right, could cause a real problem. You don't want that. So foam filled, and this is an R5 rated foam, which is great for efficiency. Doesn't just have the foam filled, but it also has right here across this meeting rail where the two windows, the top and the bottom meet, it has a composite reinforcement in there for strength. Now you say, Jeff, why composite? Why is that important? Well, because if you have an aluminum reinforcement or steel reinforcement, which some companies do, it's not as efficient. And you got to remember, for the typical buyer, because they sell mostly east of the Mississippi River, at least they do as of this point, you're dealing with cold climates. You're dealing with harsh winters, right? And so we're trying to keep the cold out. We're trying to save money on your heating bill and also on your cooling bill, but especially a heating bill. And when you have aluminum or steel running through here instead of a composite material, it does tend to be better at attracting and transferring that heat or transferring that cold. And that's the thing we're trying to avoid when we're using that. Okay, so they don't just do that, but they also have a triple fin weather stripping system. Come over here and take a look at this. It has over 600 inches on a typical size window, 600 inches of this weather stripping. And the best way for me to show it is to tilt this in. If you notice here, you see a weather stripping right here. You see another one right there. There's one right there. There's one there. There's one there. Okay, now that's not it. You've got weather stripping across the bottom. You've got weather stripping across the top. You've got weather stripping inside of the meeting rail. You've got weather stripping on the top side of this window inside of here. And on that side over there, you've got it across here. 600 inches on a typical size window, 600 inches of weather stripping. I mean, they're doing everything they can to keep the heat in and the cold out and vice versa. When it comes to ratings for windows, we actually can measure how much air comes through a window by what's called CFM, cubic feet per minute of air transfer. And the government has said for it to meet an Energy Star guideline, which is really hard to do, it gets harder every time they change it, You cannot have more than 0.30 cubic feet of air coming through per minute. Sorry about the beeping in the background if you hear that. We're here at our distribution center in Houston. Trucks are backing up. This window does not meet the 0.30. It exceeds the 0.30. In fact, it's a 0.03. So instead of being 0.30, 0.03. I mean, this is like, there could be 10 times more air coming through this window and still meet Energy Star ratings. That's just how good this window is at performing. I really like it. Now, one more thing I want to point out about this weather stripping is this weather stripping is actually treated with silver. There's a silver component to that. Why silver? Well, because silver actually is a natural resistant to mold and mildew and bacteria. What happens? This weather stripping is exposed to the elements, right? The outside of it is getting the wind, it's getting moisture in the air, it's getting humidity, whatever else is present. And it's actually, because it's so good, it's actually going to retain some of that there. So what they want is they don't want you to have a buildup of mildew or mold bacteria. Why? Because that's not good for what you're breathing there, right? We want air quality to be as high as possible in your home, and this is going to help do that. I really, really do like that about this. Now, a couple more things I want to point out to you about how this window is insulated, because I think it's pretty cool. One is that across the bottom here, you know what, go around the other side. I think it's going to be easier to show you. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and, let me switch for a minute and talk about this screen. Look at this screen. I like how this screen is on a track, because I can move it from the top to the bottom, or because if I wanted to open the top sash instead of the bottom sash, then I still have screen up here, just like that. See how cool that is? But the screen is also easy to remove. You just pull it part way up or down, put your hand here like this, push it that way, and it unloads, and now I've removed my screen. Now, look at this screen material here. This frame is actually an extruded aluminum frame. It's not roll-formed aluminum, so it's a really heavy-duty, strong screen, very durable, gonna last a really long time, and I think that's really important. So I got the screen out of the way. Oh, one more thing about the screen, check this out. Weather stripping on the screen. You say, well, Jeff, why? Why would you need weather stripping on the screen? What does that help? Well, because it needs to be able to touch this sash here when it's in place so that bugs can't get around and come into the other side. So they've thought of everything. But check this out here. Down here at the bottom, you have this slope sill, okay, which means that if water sits on here, it will actually slope away. All right, it'll come out through the little side right here, and it'll drip, and this is called a weep hole system, right? So it'll drip out and run out that way. But here's what I think is pretty cool. I want to show you this. Check out when I tilt this in. I want you to see down here on the bottom. You'll see that right here you've got a weather stripping. Here you have another weather stripping. This is called a Q-Lon material. This is Q-Lon, okay? What I like about it is look how it bounces back, right? So it's very spongy. I can close the window down. It's going to push against the bottom here. It's going to hold it in place really nice. And then here we have this other weather stripping, which is really, really cool to see. And then right here in the middle, there's a groove. I don't know if you can see, but there's actually a groove down inside of here. Now what happens is when I close this window, this groove, you know, will straddle this raised bar right here. You say, well, Jeff, why is that important? Well, it's pretty cool because what happens is this holds that sash, right, from either being pushed in or being pulled out when you have a high wind load. And when you have a high wind load, right, that's when windows tend to fail. That's when you see the weak link on a window. The fact that this groove is engaged up here, it's like just putting a reinforcement inside of there that says you cannot go in, you cannot go out. Now, I won't bore you with this, but if you study a little bit about DP ratings, what they call design pressure ratings come in a plus, like a positive rating, and a minus, a negative rating. Plus meaning that when the wind pushes against the window, how does the window perform? And when the window is getting pulled out, like for example in Houston, we have hurricanes, right? First you have a force coming in, then you have a force pulling out. And the pull out, the negative DP rating, you're going to need something like that to keep this from just being sucked out, right? Because it sits in a sloped sill here. So really clever design, great engineering, and that's why it works so well. Now here's a cool little trick. I've never seen this before. Think about this. What is the best door on your house? Think about this. On your house, what's the best insulated door in your house? Okay, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think about that. 3, 2, 1. Your refrigerator door, right? Your refrigerator door is the best ceiling door on your house, better than any door in your house. Your refrigerator door, have you ever noticed sometimes when you go to pull it open, you got that first amount of, like there's got that little bit of a hesitation you have in that? You know why? Because it actually has a magnetic strip that goes around that weather stripping so it sticks to that fridge door so you know you're getting good contact all the way around. They've done the same thing. I've got a little paper clip to illustrate it. Remember that little weather stripping I showed you back there? Let me pull it back out again. You got to see this. This is really cool. See that little piece of weather stripping right there? That one right there. Okay, that's got some metallic material in it, and then down here in the bottom, there's some magnetic material, and I want you to see how that's even magnetized. Look at that. See, that's not a trick. Watch, I'll put it on this one. It doesn't work. See what I'm saying? So the fact that this is magnetic helps this seal when it closes to actually seal well against the bottom of this thing, because this is where windows tend to take a beating, right? Is right down here at the bottom. Water sheds down the window. It tends to want to puddle here. Now with this 5-degree slope seal, the water slopes away. Also with this magnetic seal, it keeps any water from possibly coming in. In fact, the water would have to get over 1.5 inches to even get beyond this water dam that's down here. I mean, these guys have just really done a terrific job of making this window something very, very durable that's going to last you a very long time, and you're going to love it for years and years and years to come. Double strength glass, really strong glass, is standard on this. This is not an upgrade. Some companies charge an upgrade for double strength. This is double strength glass as standard. They also make what's called an offset glass option, which if you watch my video, I've got a video right here about sound reduction windows. Check that out. You'll see in there, learn about sound reduction can be done by doing offset glass. So they have an offset glass. They also have a laminated glass option, which is like the kind of glass you'd use for impact ratings for hurricanes and storms and for security and safety. So they've got a lot of great options there. They have the grids between the glass, which makes it nice and easy to clean the window, right? But for those of you, like I like it, when the grid is actually on the surface of the glass, it's more realistic. They also offer that. That's called an SDL. Now, if you don't know what that is, I'm going to have you click on this little link up here or down in the description about grids so you can understand grids for your window. I think a lot of people make mistakes because they don't understand the difference in grids, so I want you to check that out. Oh, by the way, while I'm standing here, I should ask, where are you located? If you're in Houston, I would love to get to meet you. We own a window company here in Houston called Houston Window Experts. We have over a dozen brands of windows and doors to choose from. We use our own installers. In fact, I'm standing here in our distribution center. It's 26,000 square feet, where we have hundreds of windows. We'd love to earn your business. If you don't live in this area and you want to learn more about this company or other window companies all over the country, check out jeffslist.com. Okay, enough of my selfless plug there. Shameless selfless plug, I might add. I want to show you something else that is so cool about this window. I saved it for the very last. Come around this side, okay? This is really cool. So, I'm going to close this window and I'm going to lock it. And by the way, the locks operate just beautifully, and so does the balance system. When I open and close this window, it is just so easy to use because they use a Teflon coated stainless steel constant force balancer. It's built into the side over here, and that helps it raise up and down. Instead of using some cheap springs, this is really high-end, top of the line, really cool stuff. So I'm going to close this window, okay? And I want to show you when I get ready to unlock this window, I've got a lock here and a lock here, right? I just do it like that. Now that it's unlocked. And I raise this window. They recommend a minimum of 4 inches, right? And instead of tilting it in by pushing the little latches up here like a lot of window companies do, they actually have it built in to their lock. This is really cool. So I'm going to push that forward, and look, now I've tilted the mechanism. Now, check this out right here. See right there? Watch that. See that open and close? That's nice. I mean, that is really nice. It keeps me from having anything else showing on the top of my window, which keeps it looking and performing great. Now check this out too. Right here we got what's called vent latches, okay? These are not safety latches, even though theirs exceed the forced entry standards that are set by the government. But these are not for safety, right? They're just to keep the window from being open, say by your cat or something, beyond this little 3 inches or so. So you can have the window partially open like that, or you could even do it from the top, right? I could drop the window from the top, have it partially open like that. Okay, and now I can slide my screen to the top, and now I got a little bit of ventilation. I don't have to worry about the cat or the dog ripping my screen because they see a squirrel go by, right? So that's pretty cool. So that's a vent latch. One other thing I want to point out too while I'm standing here is the super spacer. You can see it through here. See that kind of gray looking color right there? That's the spacer that goes between the outside pane and the inside pane of glass. And super spacer is considered one of the best in the world. It's really great at being non-conductive. Okay, it's made out of a real high strength foam, and that keeps the heat or the cold from transferring quite as quickly, quite as easily. This glass unit, the thickness on a glass unit is 7/8 of an inch, which is outstanding, really designed for warm or for cold weather. The performance on this thing is really great. I also need to mention to you that they do come in 16 different colors. So you have some basic colors. You have like a white, and you have a beige, and those are extruded colors, meaning that the color is all the way through the vinyl. You could take a pocket knife and slice that vinyl, the color would be all the way through, okay, white and beige. But then they can take a white or they can take a beige window, and they can do a process where they have 16 different colors they can put on the outside, or they can do a custom color if you want. There's a setup fee for that, but they can do a custom color. And now you can have whatever color you want on the outside, okay, on top of your white or your beige interior window. Why is that important? Well, sometimes you want to match the colors of what your designer wants, or something that complements your house better. And black, by the way, is like a real popular color. You can do that with this. They have 16 colors that you can do that with. And it's not just an applied typical wet paint system. They actually use ultraviolet lights. It's ultraviolet lights that cure it. So when that happens with a UV, which is what the dentist does, by the way, when you go get what are the composite fillings on your tooth, you know that little light where they stand out of the way and they shoot that little green light on you? Okay, that's what that's doing. It's an ultraviolet light that's baking that on. That's baked on, which makes it really last a long time. In fact, it does so well, they put a 10-year warranty on this product. So that's really good. Now, as far as the entire unit actually comes with a lifetime warranty, which is transferable once. So in other words, as long as you live in the home, you get a warranty. If you sell the home, the next homeowner can get the warranty one time. What do you think about this window? What don't you like about this window? I sat here for the longest time planning to do this review, thinking to myself, what don't I like? What don't I like about this window? And I've got to tell you, I can't find anything I don't like. Now, I would say that there might be some of my customers who would not like this window. And here's the reasons maybe they wouldn't like it, so something for you to consider. One is that this has a real traditional sort of width here. You've got a wider profile, and if you notice, some of the videos we talk about how some windows have a real narrow profile. They have a lot more glass and less vinyl, and in some cases, depending on your house or your style, or your preferences, this might be a little more traditional than some of my clients would want, but other than that, I think it's a terrific window, and I think it works for anyone. Now, they have one other tier of this product. Remember, this is the very top of the line. They have one step down, and that particular product does have more glass. It is a little bit narrower profile, so maybe that would work for you. But overall, I think I like a lot of what I'm seeing here. I think Vytex has a great reputation. If you look at them online, you'll see that they have a great reputation online. I like that they're family owned. I like that that even Mr. Weinrub himself every day is in that office. Now, he may not be there all day long, but doggone it, he does deserve a break, right? He's worked for years and years, since 1988, to get this company to where it is, and I'm really proud of him. It's a great American story. Immigrant from Poland, came here at age 17, made something of himself and his family, and he's leaving a legacy and a generation after generation after generation of great products. Oh, you know what? I should mention one more thing. If you're still here and you're still watching, because this is a long video, I'm sorry to the cameraman who's been holding this thing. Up close and personal, we'll get you some close-ups of this. This right here is called a glazing bead. That's what holds the glass in place. This is what's called a pound-in glazing bead. Instead of being that concave sort of clamshell, cheap plastic stuff, this is a solid extruded vinyl, and it's actually pounded in, and it snaps into this track. It's much stronger. It gives you a better, cleaner look. It lasts a lot longer. But also, you'll be able to see in the close-up, really cool contour here. This is not just a cheap plastic window. This is a truly ultra-premium, high-quality vinyl window with nice design and really nice touches and attention to the detail. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Don't forget, if you're in Houston, come by our showroom. We'd love to meet you. I'm Jeff Ludy, the window and door expert with Houston Window Experts. If you live outside of this area or you're interested in learning more about this product, go to jeffslist.com. We'll see if we can't connect you with a great window company near you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.